Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi, hello, how are my lovelies, my royalty, my beauties? Okay, let's get that piping hot, boiling, scorching hot petty tea. If you like it cold, just hold the ice. Hold the ICE. Yeah. But I mean, I know the summer's coming up, but we might have to figure out another backup plan if you like it cold. Okay. Okay. Well, it is crazy how I think of an idea and sometimes more evidence for my ideas come up the same day or even than within 72 hours. And so I'm going to be doing part two on some items. I did say I was going to do a part two or a part three. Then there's some that I was just like, well, I don't know if I'm going to have enough proof or evidence or resources and things. But now I do because more people are saying the exact same things as I am, which also proves like, yeah, I have a bully who keeps saying how I am so dumb and everything. But I'm like, how come so many of my topics people are verifying me after the fact? How come with dating? Years prior, I had a dating standard of I will not date any man on the right. Any man on the right. I don't care what he looks like. I don't care if he's like so hot and cute and what. No, I don't like. I need what's in the heart and the brain. I need it like more of the personality. And oh, I've been doing so much research on other topics. We're now combined. I think I have a hypothesis on why Republicans are more attractive physically because I've been talking about other topics lately, and with the research, I keep seeing articles that in a way spin back around to why Republicans they care more about looks and like physical looks and like with the plastic surgeries and just yes, it's crazy. And a lot of them put down Democrats for dyeing their hair or different piercings. And I'll never forget. Now I have the hiccups. Okay, bad timing. Like, okay, if it keeps going, gonna have to pause and come back. But one of my family members, who were kind of close, but I've kind of learned to keep my space a little bit because of child trauma. But I'll never forget when she was at the house and she started putting down people with nose rings and comparing them to hogs and pigs. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And she expected me to just laugh and just agree with her. And I'm just like, no, it's artistic beauty. And yeah, it's like I had a lot of things I wanted to say back to her, but out of respect, I couldn't because of the family member that she is. So I was just like, you know what? No, we're just, and I've told her several times that we're just going to disagree on many things, especially politics. And a lot of the reasons that we disagree highly is because of Christianity, religion, and everything like that. And she tells me that I'm going against, but I'm just like, no, I'm not. I'm going with my heart. I'm going like God gave us choice. I'm choosing. I like when a lot of the Christian men say I waste my time volunteering and or being creative and or like if one of my friends is going through something, I used to volunteer like, "Oh, you know what? Let's spend the day together. Let's hang out. Let's talk. Let's chat. Let's do something that's going to make you feel better." Why are you doing that? That's stupid. Why are you wasting your time? I was like, oh, no, oh, wait a minute. Aren't Christians supposed to do that? Aren't we supposed to help make people's day better? But I guess I'm confused. But yeah, this is a spring cleaning episode because, baby, like I said before, like I I do one part not thinking I'm gonna be ready for a second, but then all of a sudden when it rains, it pours. And it's raining. Yeah. And I want to say it's raining men, but I don't know. I'm not, I've got mine. I'm happy. I'm very happy. It comes, yeah. Let's just say I got stories. Ooh, but see, and it's like blessing sometimes comes with some work. And I'm not talking about him. I'm not talking about him. Whew. But if you knew, who babies, if you knew. And let's just say you will one day. You will one day. But okay. For some reason, and this gives me proof that I am a good woman, not even just a great woman, because I keep having the pattern of men disappearing or ghosting or leaving or breaking up because one, of my maybe my walking, my like now my diagnosed disability. Back then it wasn't diagnosed. So a lot of the men, because they would ask me what's going on and I was like, I don't know. And then they would be like, what did the doctor say? And I used to tell the truth, but then I learned, like, don't tell these men because then they're going to call me stupid and dumb, and that they're going to believe the doctors just like my mom did, because my mom said the doctors know what they're talking about. The doctors are professionals. It's like the doctors are not going to lie to me. But guess who ended up lying to her? The doctors. Guess who kept being punished because of the doctor's poor job? I did. But, baby, when it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. So, and that's why sometimes I say, just wait for the truth to come out. Wait for the light a little. No, okay, not the light to have, like, okay, if you see those lights and you're not ready, no, babies, come back, I'm saying, okay, wait for the truth to float up, yeah. Sometimes you gotta wait a minute. It's not gonna be like marshmallows, you know. Sometimes, you gotta wait for it to bloom perfectly for spring. But I know I am a great woman. I'm not perfect. I'm nowhere near perfect. But so many men who have done me wrong, either because of my walking or because of my education and my goals, and or some of them, like, they would put me down if I wasn't going to risk being their baby mama, or I just, like, sometimes they would only want to date me because I didn't have kids, because they wanted to turn me into their baby mama. And they have others, but then they say they don't want a woman with that. It's like they want to be the woman's only. Yeah. Yeah. They kind of want to be like Mariah Carey's, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Ill, ill, yeah, it's like, and that's why I end up blocking a lot of them, and then sometimes they create a different profile in order to get back at me, and they're like, oh, you're gonna regret it. Like, regret what? You're acting like I'm property. You're acting like I'm cattle. You're acting like I'm just supposed to be your vessel for life. No, I'm good. I'm good. No. And it's just crazy how outside of that, there's other guys who were from my past who all of a sudden they want to write me. And like, you guys already know how Mr. No Heart, after 7 years, and I was just, I still can't believe that lasted 7 years, because there were so many times I wanted to break up with him. But you know what? No, I do understand, because every time I was going to leave or break up or whatever, he always blamed me. And I have the evidence in his last text messages, because he still blames me. Till this day, he blames me. Men are funny. People are funny. And yeah, because I can say men because I've only dated men, but for some of you, it might be men and women. It might just be women. It's like I don't know. It's like it depends on your story, your sexuality, and things like that. So, but for me, it's men, and it's just yeah, he blamed me, especially when it came to never meeting my parents. Guys, if you already know the tea if you've been listening to the over 600 episodes. I invited this man over to meet my parents over 20 times. Over 20 times, but after that I was just like, "You know what? Nah. I'm not going to waste my breath. It's hot air." Shoot. It's like you don't even talk about me to your parents. Why? You don't come over to begin with. Why am I going to talk about somebody who feels like Casper the Friendly Ghost, but not as friendly? Why am I going to mention you when you're like an imaginary friend? Oh, yeah, Mr. quote unquote no heart. Uh huh. Yeah, that's her friend. Wink, wink. That's how it feels. That's how it felt. I mean, it's because it feels like that till this day. Because that's like with some of my family members, they still like, "Oh, how's that friend of your?" Yeah, yeah. Never mind. No, yeah, it's like I broke up with him. Yeah, of course you broke up with him. Ah, dang it. And see, and this is one reason why, like with a lot of these men, I created my list of standards because I knew what I was not going to tolerate anymore. Because with Mr. Lockakey, he never came to the house. But for him, I had to put rules on him because he wanted to come over. But only for the winter holiday because he had to wear a winter jacket over the winter holidays. And winter jackets have big pockets so he could steal from my parents. That's the only reason he wanted to come over. Yeah, he wanted to do his own version of spring cleaning. He wanted to do a special edition of spring cleaning called stealing. Yeah, yeah. And it's just crazy how back to Mr. No Heart, he blamed everything on me. You decided to date me. Oh, what? You don't remember that fall day? I think it was spring or fall. I was like, I remember the weather and like the door was open, but it wasn't sunny and there was no snow. I was like, it was spring or summer. And that's another thing. Like during the relationship, I never cared when the anniversary was. And so this is why I'm like, I think I was just like the kind of love where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm at my age now, whatever. I'm supposed to be with somebody. You don't want to get married, fine, whatever. I don't even care. Let's just be in a relationship. Let's just do this, whatever. You treat me like garbage, but whatever. Like, yeah, it's like after a while, I was like, nah, skip that. Skip, like, I don't deserve, like, too, like, everyone, like, even his mother said I was too good of a woman for him. And she was a racist bigot. She is one, but yeah, with me, she was definitely. But yeah, he always blamed me for the breakup. Said that I chose. I'm like, no, no, no. Back in that kitchen, I was cooking a meal. And he came up from behind, wrapping his arms around me. Will you be my girlfriend? It's like, you asked that question. It's like, all of a sudden in that breakup text, me breaking up with him, all of a sudden he wants to say, "You decided to date me with a broken heart." What? With a broken heart since when? You said you didn't want to get married to that woman. You said you didn't care about her. You called her the B word so many times. It's like more times than there are grades of grass in your lawn. I mean, we know your lawn is not that great, but yeah, anyway. Still, more times than there are. It's like that's how crazy it was. And it's like you called her trailer trash how many times? How many times I told you that it was mean. I told you that it was rude. And so it's like this is why like He kept showing himself, but every time I was going to break up, it's like either he would make me feel bad or make me feel guilty or make me feel like I'm the bad person, or his mother's like, oh well, you just have to understand. It's like it takes time. After everything he went through with his ex-wife, he is just now learning how to be a good man. Since you're an amazing woman, like you're going to be the perfect woman to teach him. I shouldn't have to teach him. No, I shouldn't have to teach him. And so I'm glad that I broke up with him. I'm glad like I got to do the spring cleaning of getting rid of him because he slowed me down with so many things. Like with my business, like, oh, even that. Like he blamed me for the startup of the business. When I realized he begged me when I say he begged me to start his business. I realized he only did that because he wanted to slow me down with starting my own. Because I guess like with my like I thought, he's my boyfriend, so I'm going to show him the steps I'm taking. I'm going to show him when I've saved this money or done this or I'm getting A, B, and C like done so that I can start my business finally. I'm going to show him my ideas for my products. What did he do? Oh, I can do better. Oh, that's nothing. Why are you doing that? Oh, that's stupid. Oh, it's like I don't think you're. Oh, no, that's not Oh, you're not capable. Oh, you're not this and that. Every single time. And then all of a sudden, because he wanted to slow me down, he all of a sudden wants to start a business. And his credit score is so horrible, and he can't save a dime to his name, a penny, a half penny even. But so then I had to, like, he kept saying that, oh, don't worry. Like, this is going to be the start of a business where you're going to be able to use the capital for your business. You're going to be able to pay off student loans. You're going to be able to save for that house. Because he knew all of my goals, he knew all of my dreams. But then what did he do about 6 months later? Again, like a lot of things happen in that kitchen. But he came from the garage. He walked from the garage to the kitchen and told me, "We're done. It's done." Never paid me back a penny to my name. Nothing, nada, zilch. So, yeah. But then all of a sudden, like, there's so much more to that, and it's kind of a review, but what happened last night, not with him, but it's just funny how he tried to write me on Reddit. He tried to write me, like, but he still wants to force me to be his good little pet with the way he wrote it and what he expects me to do. He still wants me to obey him. And I think one reason because I never obeyed him, and that's what was frustrated with that. He's not used to that. I did my own thing because he told me not to invest. He told me that was a waste of time. He would tell me not to start my businesses. So he slowed me down with the businesses. I'm gonna have a whole episode about writing of the books because he even had the nerve to say, "I'm gonna read your books." And he lied, babies. He lied. And that's why I'm just like, sometimes you have to do spring cleaning because some of these men, all they're going to do is lie because they want you to feel guilty. They want you to feel obligated to give them another chance. And so I'm gonna get back to him. Let me put his book back on the shelf because last night there was another guy who I met last year, and he drove all the way from his state over to to mine because he wanted to meet me face to face, and he was even telling neighbors that he thought he was going to be my boyfriend immediately or whatever. But yeah, he needs sobriety. He needs to because yeah, if you're gonna get into a whole fight with your family members to the point where they're about to kick you out the family, not even out the house, out the family, because of what you did on Thanksgiving over who was casted as the Wizard of Oz and Wicked, we got issues, we got problems. But then, like one day he just kind of ghosts me and disappears, again like Casper. Huh. But then he writes me last night and he tells me that like he had a very like aggressive girlfriend, not aggressive, okay, like I don't want to quote because the thing is like at first I'm like, oh, who, I've noticed someone text me. I didn't even look at the name, I just opened it, and then I realized it was him and I read it and I laughed and I closed it. And then he wrote me again and then I closed it. But then the next, oh, he was like, I see that you read my message. Little boy, mm, don't don't because yeah, because at first I was not gonna even bring this up. I was not going to talk about him. But yeah, once you say that, yeah, welcome to my channel, welcome to being a character on my channel. Because it's like if you decide to stop talking to me, especially because you're dating someone else, but they say, like, especially he chose to call me an ex, even though we never, like, we talked, but we never made anything official. And I even said, you know what, we should not be a couple, we should just be friends. And it's like, because I said, especially with how you act when you drink, because he did drink another night too, and it was kind of, it wasn't as bad, but I could kind of tell some things, and I was just like, nah, I've already dealt with this kind of stuff before. I'm good. I'm straight. Nah. But it's like it was almost like he wants me to just be for like I just have to forgive. Oh yes, like my ex like my now ex is really clingy because that's a funny thing. Like once he got with her, like, oh, he obeyed and did everything she said. Like, oh, you want me to drop everybody else, you want me to drop her, fine. But now they're broken up, so now all of a sudden he wants to come back into my life. No, baby, it's spring cleaning day. No, you don't get to come back in my life. You're not going to be a rerun in my life, honey. Hey, baby. No, no, that's not. So, this is advice for you guys. Like, if you have somebody who's trying to come back into your life, spring cleaning, get rid of all the evidence of them. It's like, I'm glad that I only saw him once and there's no, like, other than the mental memory or whatever, there's nothing else. And I'm going to keep it that way. I still like I think he wrote me two other times or whatever. And I haven't opened it since cuz I'm like, "Oh, so now you're gonna okay, yeah. And am I going to block? It's like I don't need to block cuz I'm never going to write that person back." Like, and that's the thing, like with my exes, I've never had to block. And I've only had to block when like okay, yeah, first I say never, then okay. I've never had to block because I'm going to respond. Because no, once I'm done, I'm done. It's like with a guy, like there's some who it's like they write me a couple times, but then as long as I don't respond, they don't try again. They get the hint. They understand that I don't want anything to do with them in my life. It's like, you disappeared, stay disappearing. I'm not gonna put a missing sign. I don't, I'm not gonna miss you. No. Mm-mm. No, no babies. Bye bye. Good riddance. I don't care. You know? And it's kind of like that one guy years ago, like during like the second half of COVID. He asked me out on that date or whatever, and after the date, like I I was kind of sucking. I was just like, and I was like, he needs to, look for his babies, because his baby mama ran off with his kids to Alabama. Shouldn't you be heading to Alabama to check on your babies? But no, he cared more about sleeping with me and giving me a deadline if I don't sleep with him by X date or whatever. Instead, he was going to sleep with his boss at his job. And so I was like, challenge accepted. Because, yeah, and that's another thing. Like, a lot of these men are used to women jumping when they say jump. They don't like me because I'm not like, and that's one reason why some of the men all of a sudden get like, oh, she's not going to jump when I say jump. Oh, I'm going to make her jump now. I'm going to leave. Okay, leave. Okay. There's only been one guy that kind of hurt me when he left. He was a nurse, too. Seemed to be so sweet. But then he showed his true. And see, this is why it's like during either divorce or breakups, that's when someone shows you who they really are. Because, or maybe not even breakup, like when someone isn't getting everything that they want when they want it at the snap of a finger. Because this guy was like, "Oh, you're not sleeping with me fast enough." See, I keep getting like a lot of the men are like, "You're not sleeping with me fast enough." Hmm. And so yeah, he disappeared on me because of that. And so back to the other guy, like, yeah, I was like, challenge accepted. So he slept with his boss. And I'm like, okay, well, I hope you guys have a great relationship. What? That's supposed to get you more interested. That's supposed to make you want to sleep with me more. What? No, I'm not like that just makes me know that I don't want anything to do with you. And so then he decided to kind of like swear at me, go off and blah 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 blah. And then the next year, I think yeah, cuz it was almost summer. I think it was spring. But he calls me or he tries calling me and I ignore his phone calls. And then he texts me, "Hey, how are you? What do you want?" I'm just like, "Skip the garbage. What do you want?" And he was like, "Oh, well, I'm engaged. I wanted you to know." Why are you telling me? Oh, in all honesty, I was hoping it would get you jealous. I was hoping it would make you try to come back to me. Come back to you? We didn't, no, no. We didn't, like, we went on one date. And that's the funny thing. A lot of these guys get stuck on me after one date. I know I'm a good woman. Because, yeah, they can't get enough of me like one date. It's like, because I've had so many men tell me, I've never met a woman that could have conversations like you. It's like you're so well rounded, you know, so many topics and blah, 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 whatever, and stuff like that. And it's just, yeah, they're not used to that. And some of them, they're just used to like they brag about their muscles and like maybe some of their achievements and it's like sometimes I will engage like, oh, okay, that's really cool, and then I'll ask more questions. What got you into that? What kind of skills got like, and what famous person or who do you know that does this that might have inspired you? Like, what do your parents think about? Like, it's like I'll start asking the questions about the circle around either said hobby or accomplishment, so that maybe I can get to know them on a deeper level and not just I'm strong. I win awards. I have muscles. I have this. I have a six pack. I'm hot. Okay. Yeah. Congratulations. Good job. Uh-huh. Yeah. It's like that's boring to me. That's just like okay. But for some reason, a lot of these guys, they've never had that, or they don't get it too often, or they're not used to it, whatever, whatever. But then they they miss like because I've had men tell me that the men who try to come back in my life, well, you don't start arguments. You're not like sensitive or you're not insecure. You're okay with doing your own thing or creating and blah blah blah. Like you're always busy and you're not like you're like, oh, well, I want to go out Friday. I have nothing to do. I don't have any friends. I don't have a life. I don't like you're my life. And no, skip that. Like, no. And so that's why sometimes when I hear people say they found their other half, you better get a hobby. You better find like, no, your other half should not be a human being. It should be what makes your life more fulfilling. And that's why, like, my writing, my creating, now I'm making candles, the greeting cards, and I'm making my other half and I'm working on now reworking on saving for a house. I am looking at other investments. Once I get my businesses together, okay, what's my future investments going to be? I'm creating my other half, my happiness. The guy should, be part of my happiness, but not my other half. There's a difference. And I'll talk about that on another episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handy capable, but most importantly, I am human and you're human too.